Alright guys, here we go. We're gonna get this set up to old work this panel. So I like to pre-start my strips so that I don't have to do it after I get them all in the connectors and stuff. So for our service cable, we can see here, I'm just gonna score it a little and get it ripped. Okay. Then I'm gonna put the connector on. Put the connector on, get it tightened up. Come on, you. Okay. Good. Okay, so that's our service cable to come in. I don't know what this wire is. A doorbell, thermostat, something of that sort. Getting rid of that. Now we're gonna get our pre-strips going here. And we can shorten these wires up a bit. Okay. So I got these two wires here. And get a little play out of them. That's good. Just gonna score them. Just separate them a little bit. I'm gonna relabel this if I have one. Okay, so this is gonna be for the boiler. And this is gonna be for what? Is it marked? I know there's one of these that aren't marked from the previous. Okay, so I don't know what that is. So we're just gonna put a question mark on that one. Okay. And then I'm just gonna cut these, touch. So if we cut them, yeah, that should be long enough. Just to make it easier to put the connector on. Okay, that's that one. This is gonna be, this is the dryer. These ran previously to the panel in the basement, and what I'm doing is put a panel on the second floor now, so we just rerouted them. This is gonna be our dryer. I much better. I much prefer panels be up to me in the floor that they belong on. It's easier for tenant, easier for landlord, cheaper to run wire. We gotta run wire. So now if they want to add a circuit or something, do it from the attic instead. Okay, here's our stove. So we're just gonna score that a little bit. And we're gonna shorten it up a bit, like so. It's gonna make it easier to get our panel on when we do this. Try to slide the panel on and then I'll just sneak in the circuits in the attic from above after. Make it easier to get the panel into place. Okay. Come on, there we go. Got that. Now we'll do these here. And this is washer. This was another one of the previously ran ones. So we're gonna mark this. I'm gonna have to test these. I'm not sure where they go. This right now is disconnected from the utility. The meter's not in because there was a fire, and we're still waiting for them to get it reactivated. So fire damage was on the front porch or first floor, so they don't really do anything to this wiring. But we are moving in the panel, so we're gonna make it easier on ourselves. Hood. Okay. It says hood, so I'm assuming that's the microwave hood over the stove. We won't know until we activate some of the stuff, test it, see what happens. But this is. And we're gonna have to put some arc faults and stuff on here because we didn't move the panel, so we don't really have much of a choice on that. Some arc faults, full functions, we'll see what it is. Okay, this is a newer one that we ran. So this is the, we will work some plugs from below. Just add a couple circuits and add plugs where there weren't any. And we'll work them in to the plaster, which I'll probably throw in on this too. Show you a little of that. Switches, smoke detectors, lights. You can see here that wire mold running up from the switch to the lights with like lamp cord in the wire mold. There's all knob tube on top of that from in the ceiling, so we sorted that out. That will be disconnected. I'm going to refeed. Somebody renovated the kitchen and bathroom at some point and left knob and tube feeds there for lighting. Like I said, wire mold and lamp cord and stuff in the bathroom too. So that's take some connectors. I'll put them on. Of course, we'll take the lock nuts off for here. We'll put 2 wires in a connector. make our lives easier, take up less spaces. It's all good. Okay. So, and yep, I don't like plastic connectors, so sue me. Quality over quantity, so like I said, plastic connectors just don't suit my taste. They don't actually hold the wire, and if they do, they're not adjustable. Those stupid ratchet type ones. I don't know how to explain it, but if you're an electrician, you know what they are. Those two-piece with the half moon thing you put in. I don't like them. Some people like them. Some people use them because they're cheap. I don't like them. I don't use them. I'll use buttons once in a while for like ground wires and stuff coming into a panel, but other than that, I'm not a big fan of buttons either. So again, sue me if you don't like it. But my boss knows what I like and don't like, and he accepts it. So other guys I work with, they use buttons all the time. They like them, they don't mind them. We all got our own taste, and we don't have any kind of company policy on that. So if it was my company and the guys worked for me and that was that, there wouldn't be any buttons in typical daily use for panels and stuff. Everything would be metal connectors. But it's just the way it is. The way it is in the world. You know, guys want fast, fast, fast. I'm pretty fast, but I'm also neat, conscientious about things, so. Oh, watch the camera. Oh. Because that's the best angle. Okay. So, like I said, I try to teach my apprentices my way. I mean, they're going to do what they want in the future, but if you give them a good foundation, they'll do things the right way. So, again, our state's pretty strict on, you know, not like some states where you hire temps and you do this and you have helpers or apprentices, like on, you know, 5 apprentices on a job and 1 mechanic, one licensed guy. Our state's strict on the job. It's 1-to-1, and it's even worse for the company. The company, you need a shitload of electricians to have apprentices registered. And if they're not registered, their hours don't count towards a license, and they're not very happy about that. And if you get caught, you get fines, and you can lose your license or your ability to be an electrical contractor. So you have to, you know, follow the rules. You can in some cases get an exemption depending on how you run your company, but it's just the way. So let's see, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 2 there, and that's going to be 2 on this side. So we'll go like this. Pop these out, and then we got 3 on this side. So we'll pop this out here. Pop this out here. Okay. That's 1. And then we'll pop 2 out here. And that'll be those 3. couple out of the top because I know I got things going in there. So let's flip this, and then I'll have a couple coming down this side. One, two. I'm gonna pop out 4. If I have to put a filler in, I'll put a filler in, but this will give me the, I won't have to try to get these knockouts out later on. All right, there we go. Got those out. Now I'll have to pop out screw holes here. Yep, of course. These panels suck this way. The panel falling. I had it. Take these out. I got a screw right there. That's good. Okay. So here we go. Now, this is how we're going to do this, right? So I'll have this come in. We can have this one come next, like this. Bring this one in next. Yeah. This one coming next, like this. Okay. It's usually easier with a second set of hands, but I'm just gonna do this way, show you guys what we got going. Okay, come on, okay, 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 that one right there. Now this was a snug fit, so get this in, get that 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 in. Okay, and that's how that's gonna go, like that. Okay, I'm gonna throw a screw in this to take some of the pressure off. Let me put my right bit in. Okay. And where is that screw that I had? Let's see. Had a screw here somewhere. Alright, let's see. Well, yeah, there it is. Okay, got it. So we'll put a screw in quick just to stop this from moving around. Okay, and then I can put those in, but now we will put our lock nuts on to our wires. was we had to do a condo, like a condo co-op building. We had to change all the panels from old Federal Pacifics to newer. We put all Eatons in, and we had to try to do minimal damage. So I use this technique because the panels were smaller. A lot of guys will know the old small, like 13 inches wide, or like six or 8 circuit panels, those Federal Pacifics. And so they would have a blocking in, so we'd have to cut that blocking out. And it was sheetrock, so it wasn't bad that way, but we'd cut that blocking out. I'd cut my hole big enough for my new panel. So I wouldn't have to, and I would cut all the wires. I'd get everything up, put the panel in and pull things down. A couple of the other guys and girls that were working on the job, they would cut an extra big hole at the top. So they'd cut a bigger hole up at the top, and then they'd have to come back and patch it later, which, the people, it was a pain getting in the apartments as it was. So and I was able to do them quicker and neater, less damage than most of the other electricians doing the work. So that was we were getting paid per panel, so quicker we get them. And it was during COVID, so we were trying to get it done before they closed everything down. And we'd go in, we'd wipe the walls down, vacuum up, all that other good stuff. So when we left, a lot of the apartments were cleaner than when we got there, because they weren't, it was condos, but a lot of them were rented out. And oh man, some of the characters you run into on those jobs, whew. There was definitely some characters on that job, but people didn't want to let you in. They're afraid you're like the DEA or something, I guess. But we did what we could to keep people happy. Got all the panels done. We go in, try to schedule 2-3 a day per crew. And we might have 3 guys, 2 electricians and an apprentice. And the apprentice's job would basically be to clean up, bring the garbage out, make sure we got the next panel set up, where we're at, breakers and all that other stuff. So, all right, now we'll put in our ground bars. And anybody who's seen me do a panel knows that I put 2 ground bars in every panel. I put 2 ground bars in every panel. It's the way I do it. Gives you the ability then to, let me put a square tip in here. I think it's much neater. You don't have ground bars run. You don't have ground wires running across the panel. You don't need to. And everything can go in. Here, we'll put this way. All right, go like that. Gonna run our 1032s in here. that one. You know, that's you know, they're not cheap, but if you figure your job for them, you know, it's what they are. You want them there. Okay. Okay, good. And if you have a newer panel, or 42 circuit panel, and you're running a lot, you know, you got the thing almost filled up, you got two 21 hole ground bars, you don't run out of ground bar space. And even if it's a main, I do not mix my grounds and my neutrals, because as a generator installer too, I know in the long run what a pain in the ass it is when you have to come back to a panel and rework the grounds. That is not fun, and I hate it. So I think it's just easier to do it in the beginning and not deal with it. So now yeah, no heat in this building. It's kind of chilly, so I'm keeping my sweatshirt on, my hoodie on, and using my front pocket as a tool / material pocket. So okay, there we go. Now that we got that, we can start to pull this wire off here. Just score the insulation, not actually go through it. Yeah, this knife's shot because I was using the cut plaster yesterday or the day before. Oof. So this knife is not very sharp anyway. I'm just gonna pull this insulation off and we'll get it out of our way. Now part of this job downstairs, we're waiting for the carpenters, but we're trying to get a lot of this stuff done up here because they do want to get this place re-rented, which is fine with me. I got no problem with that. Like I said, we got plugs, switches, lights, hardwire smoke detectors, all wired in. All new Romex, new boxes. We're gonna have new circuit ran for the lighting because all the lighting was knob and tube, and that's not what we need here. So I mean, the owner just bought this house after the fire, so he literally got a fire sale, and he wants to get good rent for it. So I talked to him, convinced him to make a couple changes and get rid of the wire mold for the switches. I'll give you a little tour of that stuff in a minute. When I'm done when I get more done with this, but I'll have to get my green tape. I'll have to get my green tape and my antiox out of the truck. And what we're gonna do is I tape up my greens because some inspectors like that, so that your copper grounds and your aluminum aren't in contact. Dissimilar metals and all that such stuff. And what I did was, I'm coming in the bottom of this panel just so I don't have wires running up the sides. No need for that. So this will we'll get these in. Yeah. Yeah, we'll bring this around the back like this. Up. Okay. Should grab my, oh, I gotta grab my stripper too for number 2. And then we'll get these in. I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, I got my Antiox, and I got my stripper, and I got my green tape. So, like I said, we're gonna tape up this aluminum with green. I think it's just a good, you know, aside from some inspectors requiring do it after the fact, I just do it now, and then there's no question whether the inspector requires it or doesn't. Just looks good. There's no problems with it then. Oh, I forgot my Allen wrenches. Stupid. All right, I'm gonna run and get the Allen wrenches now. Shut.
Can you pass me my tape measure? I forgot to grab that. Thank you.
All right. So it's gonna be a 3/16. I already know that. So. Okay. Now we're gonna go like this. And push this in like that. That's good. Now, let's do this next. We'll strip this. Okay. Now, okay. good. And then what I'll do is this. Okay. Okay. So I'll just put a little servicer loop there for now. Like that. And then I'll just repeat the same on the other side. Okay, there we go. And now we'll pop this out. Okay, that's that one. Now, this panel's not big enough for. Okay. See what we got. Drop that right there because I'm not going to need that. Okay. And that'll be that. And now get that door out of the way there. Okay. Now, okay, there we go. Now what we'll do, I did see another screw right there. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to screw this in. There we go, my screw bit here. I don't know. Did I put it in my pocket? Yep. Yes, I did. All right. I keep a few bits in my pocket, common ones that I need, so that's why I'll be digging around in my pocket sometimes. Okay, so we're gonna go like that. We're gonna screw this in. Like that. Okay. Like that. And now, what I'm gonna do is put my square tip back in. And I can hang this from here like that. And I can get this out of the way. The other tools down there. And then what we'll do is get these grounds hooked up. And I'll cut this off here and reuse it. Okay. And we'll go like this. Actually, maybe we'll go a little higher. Yeah. Okay, so there. And this one will be the washer. Run this through this way, get it out of the, neaten that up. Okay. Okay. Now we'll pop these in, tighten them up. There. Okay. Now this you can't do with those stupid plastic connectors, or else you'll be pulling all your wire into the panel, pulling any slack that you might have had. Okay. Now, okay. Now the stove isn't within 6 feet of the sink, so I'm not putting a ground fault on it. But they've been getting silly with the rule-making panel on the lately, so they're in all kinds of wacky things. Okay. Now, so I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller here. Okay, that's that. I am gonna have some stuff I gotta add going upstairs because they previously had a pipe running from the basement with some circuits in it. So, or a couple circuits. So I'll have to run those up and re-splice them in the junction upstairs. No big deal. But just another couple of those circuits I'll have to run up. I'll have to drill some holes upstairs in the plate and do that. Now, always try to make things as neat as possible when I'm doing these jobs. I mean, there's only so much you can do. I'm not rewiring the whole house and tearing out all the old stuff, so they do have some BX upstairs that they ran previously across the floor of the attic, which I guess that's protection from physical damage, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But all my stuff I ran under the floor, drilled holes in the joists, and drilled under the floor. Okay, so those are over there. I can take this neutral here and land that. Okay, so I'm gonna go up here, just land it up there. All my arc faults and GFIs will be push-in type, so plug on neutral type, so I won't need to worry about landing these wires after the fact for the plugs. So there'll be very little except like the bathroom outlet and things like that. Okay, like that. So I'll do these first, and this is gonna be the question marker. So I'm not sure where that's going. Hoping it does the kitchen plugs, but I'm not sure. I'll find out later. So I'm just gonna put a question mark on it for now. Just so I know it's a question. Okay. And what I'll do is I'm gonna ring these things out, and there's the boiler. Okay. Boiler's down in the basement, so I ran this right down to there. So, and if there's a gas hot water heater, I can also do the any 120 that needs off of there too. Okay. Now, I also prefer, which you'll notice, all my outlets are 20 amp, no matter where they go. I know some guys try to get away with bedrooms with 15 amps and that, but I'm not. I price it that way, I do it that way, and that's it. I don't let people want to go cheaper, they can. When they plug air conditioners in and computers and all of a sudden everything's tripping, then they can call back and go, oh, I need to add a plug after. No. I do each bedroom typically, like downstairs where we redid the whole apartment. I do each bedroom its own separate 20 amp circuit. Some people may try to get 2 or 3 bedrooms on circuit. So, well, it's only 12 plugs or whatever. Doesn't bother me, I don't care. I do what I do the way I want. It's just the way it is. All right, I'm gonna go grab some breakers just for temporary, so I can. We do have a disconnect in downstairs, disconnect switch, so I'm not worried about back feeding. But what I may do is ring some of these out, see what they do. I won't show you that. That's top secret. But, all right, that's where we're at for now. How we got this panel. I got to put a couple more screws in. I'm gonna snake some more stuff down from up top, but that's how we get it in. Nice. This is all plaster, lath. You can see plaster's a little bit loose down here. Somebody did some patching on it prior, but once I put the panel cover on, that'll hold that. They can do a little patching if they need to, but it's very brittle plaster. But I was able to cut the panel in. There was no panel here before. I was able to cut the panel in. I had to eat away this stud a little bit because the old 2x, you don't get that 14.5 in between, and that's where we're at. Hey guys, here's a little bit of what we did. You can see where there used to be wire molds running down around the door, down to a switch that had lamp cord to it. So in the plaster, we old work switches, brought the wire up through the attic, Center light with a box, all Romex now. Smoke detectors, old worked, looped. Outside the bedrooms, inside the bedrooms. We do have one up in the attic, and we did put one at the bottom of the stairs going down to the entrance. Again, you can see where they had knob and tube coming through, going to wire mold, down. It went to that side of the door. What we did was we centered the light, ran over. There was an existing switch for the staircase here. So we opened that up, put a 2-gang, ran all new wiring for that switch. You can see in here, Romex into the existing box, took out the knob and tube and the old BX. And then there's switch at the bottom of the stairs. And you can see where the wire mold was. Even in this bathroom, we did that. You can see there was wire mold running up from the switch onto the ceiling. And this was a renovated bathroom. Why they didn't do this before, I don't know. But you see they tore the chimney out, an old chimney. And again here, you can see the old hideous wire mold crooked across the ceiling. So we cut in an old work box. There was a joist right there. That's why the box moved back a little bit. And then again, they had wire mold with lamp cord, knob and tube up in the attic. So that's our new switch location. And we put some new plugs in. So you can see they had the old knob and tube in the molding. We put new Romex up to the boxes. There was a couple existing new ones with BX running to them. We left those. But we added a couple plugs in each room to make it closer to code. But here too, you can see the hole in the bottom of the molding where there used to be a plug. Now we have our new plugs here. We were gonna put the plug there, but there's all framing and stuff in the wall, so stayed away from that. But that's and then in here, the same thing. That was a plug that was damaged in a fire. They re-sheet rocked, so we put a new plug in. Over here, this is knob and tube. We put a new plug, ran it up to the attic, and then they had an existing plug over there. So we'll see if they want to change those plugs out to tamper resistant. Because this is going to be a rental. And then we move the panel up into here, so we have the panel there. And we're gonna pull some new circuits up to the attic. So that's it for this. I'll show you some more later.